Hello there, and welcome to our show. My name is Lou Wieland, and for the last 30 years, I have published the official relocation guides on Atlanta that are distributed by the First Multiple Listing Service. The magazines are distributed throughout the metro area. We have 5 different publications serving different parts of Atlanta. With one is with the North Fulton Chamber of Commerce, one with the Gwinnett Chamber, one with the Cobb Association of Realtors, and one metro area wide with the Multiple Listing Service. There are 57,000 real estate agents in the metro area. I don't know if you realize that, but the number is up about 20% year over year because of the wild market that we are in. More and more people want to get into this industry. So basically, the magazines are on my website, and they're also on the First Multiple Listing Service of Atlanta website. And the website is atlantacommunityprofiles.com. I'm also a commercial realtor with KW Commercial, focusing on apartment buildings and land. And if I can help you with any of your real estate related issues or problems or questions, please give me a call, louwheeland@kw.com. And every week we interview community leaders, and we're happy to welcome back Mike Plant, who is president and CEO of the Braves Development Company. Welcome back, Mike. It's good to have you back.
Thank you, Lou. Good to be here with you.
You had let me start by just saying congratulations for last year. What a great year, and I'm sure everybody's really, really still jubilant and happy and celebratory about what a wonderful year. And I'm hoping that we can do the same thing this year, Mike. I was talking to some friends of mine and about the show today, and one of my friends comes to most of the games actually, and I said, "What do you think I should ask Mike when he comes on the show?" He says, ask him if the Braves have a new strategy whereby they just lay low up until the All-Star game and then pour it on after that. So we did it last year and it worked so well. Are we trying to do that same thing again this year? Is that the strategy?
Well, I'll address last. Alex, obviously, our GM, made some incredible moves before the trade deadline. And as we all know the story, it hasn't happened probably in the last 40, 50 years of baseball that a team doesn't get above 500 until the 6th of August, and then they go on to win the entire World Series championship. It's not a formula that I think any of us would like to repeat unless we could guarantee that we could win that World Series again. But the Mets obviously are a good team. They've loaded up this year, and I think our strategy would, certainly be win series every time we're out there, get ourselves in a position to make it to the postseason again, and then try to make sure that everyone steps up on the field to play, and like they did last year, and that could take us to a pretty good place again. So long season, but right now we know our starting pitching is really good, and we have upside on the offense to still come.
Well, the offense is we do have the potential for a great offense. We have some really good hitters. It just doesn't seem to be coming together at the moment. What is there?
That's why I said I think we feel we have some good upside still. We do have some really good hitters and some good players. We've seen great results out of a lot of them, and so we're encouraged that that's still yet to come.
We have a new first baseman, and Freddie Freeman is over there in his hometown. I guess he's pretty happy. And
well, Freddie will be here in about a month or so. I think it's third weekend of June, and we're going to enjoy the celebration of giving him his World Series ring on the field with all of our fans. And look, we all love Freddie, and he was a heck of a player and has a historic role in this organization. And now we're fortunate to have a young player like Matt Olson, who has some incredible, stats and talents, and is going to take us a long way as well for many years to come.
Yeah, that was amazing. What an amazing find at the last minute there.
Yeah.
So
and Alex can work some magic.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that is a miracle find, really, and he's turned out to be phenomenal I guess he started out hitting better and is kind of slower now, but I guess he'll be coming. Hopefully, won't
Yeah,
be
he hit a
long.
home run last night, and he has a great glove. He's a great clubhouse presence. So I'm sure again he's one of those guys we see a lot of upside with.
Um, Chipper Jones was really a great guy for clubhouse morale and keeping the spirits up and kind of a cohesive element. Do we have a person like that now?
And, I think there's guys in the clubhouse that the team, especially younger players, look up to and respect, and they're a presence. You look at guys like Dansby Swanson, obviously, has been around now for a while, and even some of the pitchers, which Will Smith and Kenley Jansen, who just came to the Braves, they've been in the game a long time. They know how to play the game right, and again, I think a lot of our young players look to them to drive and lead in that clubhouse when it's needed.
What? So we have our spirits are up. I was at the game last Saturday night, and it was an extremely exciting game. And
It was, yeah.
right at the end too. It was like last night. I mean, it was pretty exciting. Whenever I go to the stadium, I still get goosebumps looking at this phenomenal venue that they've created over there. It is got to be the most phenomenal venue of any entertainment venue in the city, and maybe in the southeast. Or southeast and southwest even, or more. You've got to be extremely proud of that venue that you've created, and we've been through some difficult times getting it started, but man, did it ever turned out phenomenal.
Well, thank you. We all are extremely proud. We know we've really set a new trend in professional sports and really around the world. We've had 150 teams now from around the world that have come and visited the Battery and Truist Park, and they all start to understand that you're looking at diversification of your revenue sources. A lot of that got magnified during the pandemic when most leagues around the world, most events couldn't play in 2020 without any fans. 2021 limited fans to some extent. So what we were able to create here obviously was a way for year round us to activate this entire incredible battery development. And last year we did about 9 million people through here, and that's 2.7 million fans that came to games and 6.3 million that were here for all the other things that we have to offer. Our restaurants have been doing incredibly well. Our hotels are full. We just announced about a month ago a new 250,000 square foot headquarters for Truist Securities. So that's the fourth Fortune 500 company that we'll have here on the campus. And our future just looks better and better as the years go on here. So we're making the impact, and not only for ourselves, but certainly Cobb and the state of Georgia. The numbers they're going to come out in a couple of weeks, and they're phenomenal as far as the tax revenue that we've generated at the Battery.
I hope you're getting a lot of favorable feedback from the citizens of Cobb County for the
We do.
additional value that you're bringing in that regard.
We do. We pump a lot of money, tens of millions of dollars into the Cobb General Fund and also the Cobb school system and the state of Georgia. And it's all through the development. Obviously, that was the vision we had, and we're starting to see the performance and results of that.
Yeah, they was not always the case.
No.
It was a rough start.
Well, and it's not the case really anywhere in the United States when you build a sports venue that is surrounded by asphalt parking lots. The sports venue is always off the tax roll, and so the only tax you have available in order to generate income is ticket tax, food and beverage, and retail, maybe a little bit on parking. That's just not enough to take care of debt service usually on the public side of supporting these facilities. So the game changer was, the 2.5 million square feet of development that we have that is on the tax roll. And when you bring 9 million people here, they're consumers, they're buying things. So there's tons of sales tax that's generated, and that's the game changer in this whole equation.
I went on your website and I pulled down a list of the various job functions in the organization as a whole, which is an amazing group of people. And there were some areas that I was wondering about, like, for example, what is a manager of family relations? What's that job function?
That's the on the team side. Obviously, we have a lot of players, a lot of coaches, and the baseball world's 162 games. They're with us here for 7 months, essentially, when you look at, and more than that when you add spring training to it. So we provide our teams the ability, and really it's the players, an opportunity to focus on the game, day of game, and anything their spouses, their parents need. That's what the manager takes care of. Parking where they park their cars, tickets, games. A lot of them have little kids. We have a nanny service we provide here for anyone that's a uniform player. So most teams now in this environment have that because of we're just playing every single day.
You have a guy that's called George Polis, who is a player health slash head athletic trainer. That must be an interesting position. What are some of his areas of responsibility?
Yeah, so George is really, as it says, the head athletic trainer for the players, and we have a team of over a dozen doctors that are experts in their various fields. And I'd call George the quarterback of anything physical or medical related. When a player has an injury or an illness, or George knows where to go in order to talk to the right expert that's affiliated with us. Player gets injured, obviously we're able to get players back here to do MRIs very, very quickly, and he is the quarterback making all that happen.
You have an entire medical staff. I see a head strength and conditioning coach, Brad Scott. What does he do?
Well, in the game of baseball, like most sports, obviously you have a coach that is the person directing your physical and aerobic, anaerobic activity, and that's what Brad is the one responsible for, making sure that the strength and conditioning of the players, because we're playing every single day, is something that's still a focal point. Stretching before the games, and just a lot of different things under his area that are important to the success of our team.
You have an area called corporate and premium partnerships. What is that? What is that exactly?
So, all the corporate sponsors that are partners of ours, those are sold and activations that they do and how we service them. You look at Coca-Cola, obviously Delta, Miller Coors are huge, huge sponsors of the Atlanta Braves. And we do a lot of different activation programs with them. We do a lot of different support resources with them. And then all the premium side of that is all the premium seating that we have all falls under Jim Allen, who's our VP of corporate partnerships. He has a big team that supports everything that he does, but all the premium seats and how we service those accounts all fall under him as well.
In partnerships, that's the same kind of area of
Yeah, we have
involvement.
4,000 what I call conditioned space seats. So they're premium seats at different levels that have different food and beverage and parking programs to them, and that all falls under him.
Okay, you have quite an amazing group of people there, including Bobby Cox, who's still on staff there. What is Bobby
Yes.
doing?
Yeah, Bobby's fortunately he's still hanging in there. He's happy, was ecstatic, obviously winning the World Series. I know he pays attention to how we're doing every night, and hopefully we're going to be able to get him out to the park here sometime in the near future. But fortunately, he's still with us.
Great, I'm sure he's the winningest. Is he the winningest coach in baseball or what?
You know what? I know he's up towards the top. I can't remember now because there were a couple other guys that were along the ride with him. Tony La Russa, who's now actively managing again for the White Sox. So yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that.
Torrey has got to be up there too, right? Bobby Cox and
Well,
Joe Torre.
Torrey obviously works for the league office in New York, so he stopped managing around the same time Bobby did. But I can't remember who the leader in the clubhouse is now.
Ballpark tours. How do we get? Tell us how does that work?
So we do it obviously like a lot of venues around the country. People are interested in coming and seeing a little bit of the back of the house and where the players really live almost. Unlike a football stadium where they play 10 games a year in a big football stadium, they have their massive training complexes that are not associated with that. So But for us in baseball, this is the home. This is where our players come to. This is where they work out, they train. And so, that's a big part of it, seeing all of our clubs, going up in the control room, seeing how the whole game from an audio video standpoint is directed and the command center. So, a lot of people just have an interest in it. And that's the ballpark tours.
Sign up for a tour? How does that? I did
Yeah,
not know that.
you can do it online, and we do. I don't know, about 160, 180,000 people a year that come through Truist Park.
And for the tour, just to,
Yeah.
to get
Yep.
all the behind the scenes and everything.
Exactly. That's
And
exactly
I know
what it
you
is.
guys have during the week, a day when there's no game, you have lots of facilities that you can rent as a corporation.
Yeah,
for
before the
function.
pandemic, actually, I think we had 865 events we did in 2019 inside the ballpark, non-game related. We have a 6,000 square foot Conica Minolta conference center. We use our clubs. We use some of our suites and that for companies and special events to be able to utilize the facility.
You have an entire group of people that under the category of event operations, and I guess that's what they focus on.
That they focus on that, but they're also the ones that, the other night, Monday night, we had a replica ring giveaway again, and they're the ones that would handle all the gate giveaways and different, things we'll do to activate our sponsorships with the fans. They have a big job.
Remind us again about the Hank Aaron Fellowship too. It goes with pretty important.
Yeah, we have obviously a long history and that with the legend, and we were all obviously saddened by the loss of Hank, February of 2021. But his legacy continues with us. We have the Henry Louis Aaron Fund, which is helping to grow the game in the inner cities, and both also focus on competitive aspect of the game of baseball, but also from an educational standpoint. So these two fellowships are two individuals that get selected through a pretty rigorous qualification system and they end up working in our organization for a period of about a year in different areas of our company. And that gives them a great opportunity to expose their skills to different managers and leaders of our organization, and hopefully gives them a feel for if this is a career that they want to get into, the sports administration, sports business side of the career.
Well, it is an amazing group of people that you put together. And on the business strategy, what does that entail anyway? Or is that line glowing before the spring break or before the the All-Star game, and then coming back strong in the second half?
No, well, it's similar because in the game of baseball, just like for all sports now, the analytics are incredible, and the data generation that you do to learn and try to understand strengths and weaknesses of your opponent. That's the data analytics on the baseball side. We do the same on the business side. We have a strategic planning group that looks at various business KPIs, business metrics to help us obviously provide better value to our fans, understand how to talk and communicate to them in a different way that's more effective and impactful, in order to get more people here to enjoy Braves baseball. So it's a very important part of our organization.
I have a guy by the name of Scott Cunningham in that regard, fan experience. What does he do all day? Is he trying to make everybody have a good time at the game, or what is he? What does that mean?
Yeah, he is the best in the business. When you go to a professional sports event anywhere in America, college event anywhere in America, you walk in and all the audio visual components of it during the game and during intermissions of the game and during, between innings and that, everything we do on the fan engagement, fan entertainment is all Scott. That big board, all the video boards, the various music, that all is directed by Scott Cunningham.
Okay, well, that is very impressive. And I guess retail obviously stands for itself. That's just getting all the gear that you can buy as a spectator
Correct.
and go to the game. And is that exactly what that means?
That's it. Yeah, we have a main store here at Truist Park. We have about 6 other stores around the park. And then during the postseason last year, we opened up the satellite store, and obviously we did everything we could to keep up with the demand of the merchandise that was sold during the postseason run and leading up to the World Series. And it was an incredible effort by our retail team because the demand was incredible.
Well, obviously, one of the elements too in the equation is security, and I see you have a group of people called in the category of stadium operations and security. Tell us a little bit about the security component.
Yeah, one of the things that obviously is of most interest to anybody when you look at a venue like this, and certainly it's augmented because of the battery and the campus we created, is a safe, secure environment. Make it easy, accessible, and then make it safe and secure. So we do a ton with security. We work with every one of the state and federal agencies, FBI, GBI, Homeland Security. That all gets magnified and augmented extensively when you make the postseason. So that's a big part of our operation here. We have a lot of people on our team, inside and outside, making sure that we achieve those objectives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is obviously a key thing. On membership sales, how does that work? What is a membership? What kind of a membership is that? Or is that?
Yeah, there's just different affinity clubs and affinity programs with Braves fans that we obviously have some special different opportunities. And so, our big focus obviously is ticket sales. And we spend, it's a year-round effort and supporting our premium customers and every Braves fan that makes a decision to buy a ticket. But some of those get other opportunities that are more frequent buyers, and that through various affinity memberships.
And how do you find out about those? If you wanted to inquire about getting involved for your company,
you can find out just about anything you need to on our website. It's an extensive, impressive website, that has an A to Z component to it, and I would suggest that's definitely the best source.
Okay, and the Braves Development Company again. What is that? What is?
So that's one of the things I oversee. And the Braves Development Company is essentially everything outside the walls of Truist Park. Is all of our real estate holdings, which we essentially own and operate everything here. And, it's a great effort by a team of people that, we sell, we lease, we operate, make sure 365, 24/7 that this place continues to be a place that people want to come to and have a great time with their friends and family, and has a huge menu of different activations. We do over 500 a year. Want to go to concerts, you go to the Roxy Theater, to 27 restaurants, stay in our hotels. And obviously this is where people live and work as well. So that's all falls under the Braves Development Company.
The restaurants that you mentioned there are struggling generally, but they don't seem to be struggling over there. What's your secret to the success over there?
Well, I think again, you create a different transform an area and create an easily accessible place that, as I said, is safe and secure, has a broad, diverse menu of authentic offerings. And a lot of our restaurants have James Beard award-winning chefs. There's an incredible, diverse menu of opportunities here and different food offerings. And then, we're surrounded by what we've created on the campus from an office standpoint, but just adjacent to us and around us is a massive office occupancy and tenant base. So that's why you can't come here during lunch anymore and just walk into a restaurant. They're going to be full. And when the team's on the road, we're constantly seeing full restaurants and full hotels because this is a place that people want to be part of.
Yeah, just to walk around Battery Park is a great experience.
Yeah. So we've got a lot going on here, a lot working.
Everybody does feel a sense of security too. That's very important in these days. We're following up on a very tragic day yesterday. So
yeah, very tragic.
It reminds us of that security is really uppermost in our minds when we go to a public venue lately. But switching to one other topic that's, I know, a favorite topic of yours, Mike, is the Farm Club. We've had traditionally had a phenomenal farm teams Give us an update on those.
Yeah, I mean, we made a big change this past year. Is after decades of ownership of those teams, we sold them to a group called Endeavor, and they've been in the business of buying a number of minor league clubs. The big change was predicated on the fact that Major League Baseball now has oversight of all minor league baseball, and for the last 50, 60 years that didn't exist. We still have the license to have those clubs. They're still called the Mississippi Braves and the Gwinnett Stripers, Rome Braves. Those are still all of our players. We just don't own the teams anymore. This other entity does, but there's a bunch of different standards and conditions that they have to provide us at a pretty high level. And that was one of the big changes with Major League Baseball taking over. Some venues were not up to a standard that was necessary to obviously train and create a competitive environment for players of this caliber. So they contracted about 40 teams out of there. So now it's all governed by Major League Baseball. And so it works for everybody. But they're an important part of our system, obviously. And you see every team, different than football where they draw from the college community to get their players. We have to draw from the community of minor league baseball, and those are our players.
How does that affect scouting exactly?
Well, doesn't it really affect scouting other than the fact that good scouts are going to find you good talent, and that's what the draft is all about. Is you draft those players and then you put them in your minor league system. You hope they continue to develop the way you'd like to see them with the resources of coaches and all the people that are part of the team at that level. And, you bring them up to put on that major league uniform one day. And most of the guys, well, I shouldn't say most, just about every player on that for the Braves field or every player on a major league roster has gone through the minor league system.
So you have a crystal ball for in your scouting department, I think. And I don't know how you do it, but you seem to pull off miracles. And I was wondering if you could tell us where do we get a crystal ball like that?
Yeah. Well, you got to give credit where credit's due. It starts with your general manager, and Alex started in this business in scouting and player development, like most of the GMs nowadays. He's a big believer of analytics and using the information to create that competitive advantage and build a team of player development and scouts that understand what you're looking for in young kids, that you can, understand the tools that are going to be necessary for a long-term career in this game. And they have a great eye for it. But create the metrics around it now as well, which is different than probably was 20 years ago. There's certain metrics that you can look at, and the data you can look at that will tell you if this person has what it takes to be a good hitter in this game or a good pitcher in this game. And it's not bulletproof because they're young kids and you don't know how, they'll develop on and off the field always, but character is a big one for us as well. See where they came from, see how intelligent they are, and see what their honor and character is all about as well.
Any interesting trades coming up?
That's all Alex. Fortunately, I stay in my lane.
But he's a miracle worker.
Yeah, no, he did an incredible job, one that you don't see often and we might not see again. 2 of the 4 guys that we got last year before the trade deadline ended up being MVPs in the postseason. That just doesn't happen. So it was pretty incredible.
That was the key to winning the World Series, really, those trades.
100%.
That really was amazing. So, well, what do you forecast for the rest of the year? As we stand, we're about 8 games behind the Mets right now. So,
we are.
What does it look like going forward? And can you give us a forecast? What do you think?
Well, I would just say, as Mike playing individual and, an executive in this organization and a very passionate representative of the organization like everyone here is we think we have upside on this team. We've got a lot of good players on this team. They have a really high standard of excellence. We have tons of great resources that we put into helping them excel every day on that field of play. And I would think they'd all probably tell you we haven't played our best baseball yet. And so that gives you a lot of encouragement and hope that we have more wins in us than losses as we continue to go forward.
Well, again, it's a wonderful job that you did last year. You guys are phenomenal
Thank you.
representatives of our great city, and we're proud of you, and we are very grateful for the job that you did to present our best foot forward in the world, throughout the world, as as the great city of baseball that we are. So thank you very much for everything that you guys do, and I love the Braves. I'm a huge Braves fan, as you know, and
Yep.
whatever I can
I
do
appreciate
to
that.
help you, you can count
Well,
on
good to
that.
be with you, and keep your hopes up and keep rooting us on.
Yeah,
We
you
appreciate
bet.
it.
You can count on that. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank
You
you
bet.
for listening, and have a nice day.